Stress makes its mark on the female face. This is according to a new study that found men judge women with higher levels of stress hormone as less attractive. The finding is a gender turnaround on previous research that found women also go for low-stress guys. Stress can suppress fertility, said the researcher Markus Rantala, a professor of biology at the University of Turku in Finland. Thus Rantala said it's no surprise both men and women might have evolved to prefer chilled-out faces. So could decreasing chronic stress increase your attractiveness towards potential mates? The new study goes on to suggest one intriguing gender difference. Men weren't more attracted to women with stronger immune systems, another factor that can show up in the facial features, whereas previous research on judgments of male attractiveness found that women prefer guys with stronger immune responses. Judgments of beauty are both cultural and individual, but psychologists and biologists find humans all over the world tend to agree on a few things. For example, men prefer younger women to older women, and neither men nor women tend to prefer people who look sick or diseased. The evolutionary drive to reproduce likely pushes people towards features that indicate health and fertility. Studies on women's perceived attractiveness and their health have been mixed. In one study, 52 Latvian women had their photos taken during the fertile times in their menstrual cycle. These women also received a hepatitis B vaccine. 1 month before and after the shot, the researchers took a blood sample to measure the women's hormones and antibodies, immune proteins that help the body to fight against foreign invaders, and also the women's body fat percentage. Next, 18 men rated the photographs of the women's faces for attractiveness on a scale of 1 to 10. The results revealed the prettiest faces didn't necessarily belong to the women with the strongest immune responses, but instead to the women with the lowest levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Body fat was also linked to attractiveness, so the thinnest and the fattest were seen as the least attractive. As with stress, both obesity and being underweight can cause fertility problems. Men might not cue into a woman's immune strength the way that women cue into a man, because of different reproductive strategies between the sexes. For men, reproduction is relatively cheap, so the goal, evolutionary speaking, would be to have as many offspring as possible. For women who have to gestate their offspring, giving each baby the best chance to survive adulthood is far more important. This sex difference can explain why women might be more alert to facial signals of a strong immune system in a potential mate. The researchers note to measure immunity they looked only at antibodies, and this makes up just one factor of the immune response. The prettier women may have had immune advantages that the researchers couldn't measure. Excessive stress can affect the biological systems in varying conditions. The body has a natural defense mechanism in place that's effective for regulating and managing stress, so as to not be harmful to our health. However, when stress builds up to a point that the body is backlogged and no longer able to regulate the abundant loads of stress, debilitating symptoms can occur. The reduction in stress might be able to increase your attractiveness to the opposite sex and to signal fertility. The natural defense mechanism within ourselves is not singular, and it needs to be viewed from a holistic perspective. It's known as the neuroendometabolic stress response. It's a circuit board of sorts, and it can be split into 2 primary compartments: the neuroendocrine response and the metabolic response. The neuroendometabolic circuit is inclusive of essential systems and organs, all playing a part in fending off the aggravating factors caused by stress, and maintaining the regulation of stressful influences on the body. An example is the secretion of a hormone by the adrenal glands called cortisol, known primarily for its role in fending off stress. When stress isn't managed well, it accumulates, and then symptoms like immune weakness and fatigue can occur. To learn more about stress, cortisol, and natural treatments, check out my videos on pregnenolone, DHEA, phosphatidylserine, adaptogenic herbs, nervines, the circadian rhythm, sleep-enhancing supplements, balancing neurotransmitters, and more. To book a consultation, learn about herbs, supplements, or natural treatments, check out my website.